Welcome back guys, GTS Garage. Today we're going to cover some old ground, and a lot of you will have only just seen the same content and that I'm going to put in this video. And the reason is, and yes it is a bit cheeky, but the reason is because my last video was on how to change the coolant. And as part of that process you have to take all the fairing off in a certain way of the ST1300 to get to the parts that you need to do that task. But if you do a search on YouTube how to take that cowling off, my video won't appear. So this is a repeat of that last video minus the cooling change, or the coolant change, just demonstrating how to remove that fairing. There will be a number of reasons why you want to remove that fairing. You may be doing servicing yourself, you may be cleaning underneath the plastics or cleaning the plastics themselves, but you still need to be able to take those off. And you won't necessarily find that video by saying, typing into YouTube how to remove the fairing off of a ST1300. That's why I'm putting this video back up. So you will have to forgive me. Feel free to skip this. If you've watched my last one with regards to coolant, it's exactly the same content minus the coolant. But the reason is because I could put the correct search terms against this video to try and help those people that are doing it. First thing we want to do is take off this plastic guard. And first of all we're going to start with 5mm Allen. Each of the Allen bolts is just slightly longer or slightly shorter than one another, so you do need to know where they come from. Okay, that's this side off. Now I'm going to do exactly the same for the other side. We'll need something sharp. Once you've removed the trim cover, you're then going to pull on this side and push back. Okay, so we've removed the trim cover, and we've now got access to that inside part of the panel. We're now going to come up into the carts here, and you should see two trim clips on the inside. Hopefully you can see that. You will need to turn the handlebars completely to the right to gain access to those. So again in here, and then if you look on the other side as well, there's another two in there. Okay, from the front of the bike, turning the wheel all the way to the right hand side, we can expose the trim here. So this is on the left hand side, and you'll see there are two trim clips and a screw. So you just work your way around that panel, look for the trim clips, remove them and undo that screw. But the next step is to remove the trim panel that you can see in front of you. And as you can see, there are two screws at the bottom, and there is a trim tab on each side. Hopefully you can see that there. Impact driver, I would say, is essential for these two clips if they've not been taken out in a while. Down here there are two trim clips as well, and you've got to remove those because they also hold this into place. Okay, so when it comes to the right hand side, it has a sensor cable that you need to unhook. And it's just a case of just pressing in the little clip, unhooking that, and then you can remove the trim completely. So this is just on the right hand side. So once you've removed the trim panel from the left hand side and the right hand side, and you've disconnected the sensor, you should now be able to just ease these two panels apart because they kind of meet like that. So just prise them apart. You'll see all the dirt drop out because that's where it all collects, and this panel should then be removable. Okay, so now we have the front trim out, we have the panels out. The next stage is to remove these bumpers. Now these bumpers have a 5mm, should be a 5mm Allen there. I'm hoping you can see that because I can no longer see the back of the camera. Okay, so once you've removed the cover, that's going to expose these two 8mm bolts. So using an 8mm socket, and they come with that special wash. I'm hoping you can see that. So don't lose that. I try and put it back into the fairing once it comes off. So your safety bar protection things come off, and you've basically removed the 2 bolts on both sides. You're now going to remove the 5mm Allen bolt up here. Okay, the next 2 are underneath this flap, so you can now see why when you take it in for a servicing and they have to do this, it costs you so much in labour, is because they would have to strip the bike in the same way, and it is quite an involved task. So the next 2 screws that we're after are these 2 here at the top. Okay, now I found these quite difficult to get out except for with a JIS screwdriver, so if you're going to use anything else, make sure you have a well-fitting screwdriver, otherwise you will mince these out. Okay, with the 2 screws from here removed, we're now going to remove the side mirrors, and these just clip off. And the screws we're after are this one here and this one here. So they're the next 2 screws to remove. Okay, so once you've actually removed those bolts, this portion just comes straight out. And that is it. Okay. One of the things I would do is once you take these safety fasteners out, I would put them back in. Okay, that way you know you're not going to lose them, and when you need them you'll know where they are. So they either go back into here or they go into the fairing that you come off, but that will save you losing nuts and bolts and getting them mixed up. Okay, and what you'll end up with is fairing, and then fairing parts all over. Okay guys, that is it, and as I said, it was a repeat of the last one, and I apologise for that, but this channel has always been about sharing information. So if they come across a coolant change one, they won't necessarily know that that also includes taking off the fairing as well. So this is a repeat of the last video, and it is just so I can label it different to get so people can type into YouTube how to take the fairing off an ST1300 and they will find that video. This isn't about money, this isn't about getting views or anything like that, and this channel never has been about getting views, earning money, you know, regardless of what YouTube have done with their subscription and how they pay and all that rubbish. Not interested. The idea is to share the information, and that's what makes this community so strong. There's always somebody that's done it, and this is my media to get the information that I do out onto the internet. You take it easy, ride safe. I'm going to stop waffling now, and enjoy the sunshine. Bye bye.